Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. Gorilla Guitar Repair here, and got kind of a special guitar here. This was sent in from a viewer like you. And here, let's check it out. Ready? It's kind of neat, huh? This is a vintage. See? It's a vintage brand. Stratocaster style guitar, the Icon series V6. Ooh, speedy. So yeah, one of you fine people decided to send me one of your guitars to work on. So let's get on it. All right, ready, set, and see ya. All right. We'll give you guys the typical flyover of this here vintage guitar, and it's kind of, they did it kind of a different way. It doesn't look terrible, but they did the the relicking thing, and then they finished over it with gloss. I'm not sure whoever made this guitar kind of understood the assignment, but it still looks pretty good. Still looks good, Let's see, what else we got going? Oh yeah, so he sent it in because it's very buzzy. Keep looking around here. I think these are locking tuners, I believe. And complaints of not staying in tune. Looks like the intonation probably isn't correct, just at first glance. And yeah, buzzy frets. I can see, I can see a gap, like just right off the top, right underneath, like that one there. I can get my thumbnail under that, so that's not okay. All right, and let's see, fret ends are a little rough, but he wanted us to round the fingerboard also, so that'll take care of that. And let's take a look at the back here, see we got more of the relic marks, but then gloss finished over. It's almost like somebody had a guitar that was, the finish was chipping off, and then they decided to like stop it from happening. Anyway, it's a cool color. I like the blue. Relic hardware is kind of neat. Oh, we almost forgot to turn on Vintage Lumens Generator with custom red. The subscribe button. Nailed it. You guys do the same. Over 7,000 people. Not really sure what we're up to. I haven't even looked really lately. So yeah, let's plug it in. Make sure the electricals work. Got here. Get my stuff right here. There we go. Oh, they actually made it make sense. Good job, vintage. Yeah. All Strats should have this one tied to the tone if you use the tone. I typically don't. Looks like it's, what is that, Wilkinson? Yeah, so Wilkinson bridge on there, which is, they make good stuff. Nothing wrong with Wilkinson. So, oh yeah, let's see what the, so let's see. Sounds like something. Here, I was just praising Wilkinson. I can hear that bridge rattling. Yeah. Ooh, that's not good. Wait. It's not supposed to sound like a sitar, but here we are. All right, so what we're going to do is take the strings off. We're going to find the offending frets. Ooh, yeah, or in this, I can't talk crap about Fender. It's what I do. This is a very, very good, actually Fender's fret ends usually are worse, but yeah, that's a kind of a common thing on Strats. Get a little bit of lifty fretty. Ooh, yeah, you can like feel that one. that's just no good. All right, it's got a graphite nut on there already, although it looks like it's a little offset. I think we're gonna, yeah, somebody put this in a little crooked. Here, check it out. It's definitely a little more, I mean, it's not awful, but it's set over towards the bass side a little more. Anyway, we're gonna do a bone nut. No, again, there's probably not a lot wrong with this one, but yeah, we'll do a bone nut and like the unbleached, I think is what I have. So we'll kind of match the pickguard a little more. All right, let's get the strings off. Okay. Oh, that's right. These are locking tuners. These the ones where you turn them backwards and they release. I think. Here, you guys, come watch up here. That's right. Forgot that I said they were locking tuners. That's all. That's kind of a if you just for those that have locking tuners, you don't need to do wraps. In fact, if you have locking tuners and you do wraps, some of them will unlock and you just turn them backwards. But anyway, if you do lock them and then do a bunch of wraps, that almost negates having locking tuners, because this is what goes out of tune. All the wraps as you use your trim or whatever. So if you don't need to have wraps, then don't. Although on a Strat style guitar, we might want some down pressure from the D string, G string, maybe. We'll see. Headstock look like it's got pretty decent downward angle, slope, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And I think these are the kind I kind of did this backwards, where you just, if you take the tension off, or if you turn them back while you have tension on them, then they'll just unlock by themselves. Boy, that slot's a little, I mean, it's not the worst. I can see a bunch of glue in there though. All right. Anyway, let's go back down here. We'll take the nut off of it. Let's get these out. Take the neck off. Well, let's open up the pickguard, see if there's any. He said that there was some. We had the volume pot changed, so we're gonna check some work, see if I can make sure everything's all good. I don't like how these saddles eject all the way. Look at that. Here, check this out. Now let's get these out first. Get out of the way. I'm gonna stab myself. I want to bleed all over this guy's guitar. But yeah, look at how forward the saddles are. Hopefully maybe they just need to go back for proper intonation, but otherwise it'd be a bummer to have the string be have to be under there, and that'd be kind of annoying. Why would they do that? Huh. Well, we'll check. Maybe there's something. Which way would the neck have to go for the saddles to have to go back? The neck would have to go forward, right? Yeah. So maybe there's a gap in here. Sometimes if they didn't put the screw holes in the right spot, or they didn't put it all the way in, maybe I can get it to shuck forward a little bit. Maybe not. Let's take a look. All right, ready? Trigger warning. I would never use a drill on a guitar. Okay, let's see, what have we got? Oh, do you have to take the neck off? Oh, so we're definitely going to shim that neck out, because if it's pinching this right here, if your overhang is pinching, you'll eventually cause this thing to flip up, and that might be causing some of the buzz that's happening. Could be, but yeah, it's often guys with Strats that have an overhang will want it like all dead flat into the pocket, and they'll put it in there and like put a thick pickguard on it like this, and it'll pry this up, because you get there's a lot of leverage from these here screws. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, now everything just fell apart. There we go. Now we can see what's happening. That's fine. Well, all nicely shielding painted in there. That's cool. Looks like It got a little chipped out. Probably the router hit it or something. I don't know. Wow, that's a lot of solder on there. Here, let's zoom in, you guys, and take a look. There we go. All right, hold on. Terrible cameraman. So these are factory, and then this is the one that was changed. Ooh, they probably should have tightened it. That's usually what I do. I guess that's not an industry standard. But yeah, we'll tighten that up. It doesn't look like the solder's loose, just a lot of it. I mean, they use the same, import style pot. Let's see, what else we got going here? So this must do a splitty thing here, probably. And then, oh no, it doesn't. That's just, okay, I see. No, I thought that, never mind. I was wrong. So there we go. You could do a splitty thing if you had like a super switch or a push-pull pot. This could be set up to be tapped. This is a Wilkinson humbucker, and I assume those are Wilkinson single coils, which I've used these in guitars before. They sound fine. They do a really good vintage humbuckery sound. They sound, not that humbuckers actually sound very different at all, just varying outputs, and if they are microphonic is really all it comes down to. Oh, look at that. That's crap. Look at that. That is, here, check this out. Can you guys see that? We're gonna zoom more. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we gotta change this pot. This is, here, let's try to get, there we go. That's a good angle to dangle. Look at this, watch this. Look at that. That is just asking for a failure. Yep. They had the opportunity to change out, oh man. Yeah, these don't do that. I say they all do it? No. This is crap. Nope. We gotta change this one. I'm sure our customer will be happy that we've discovered that this pot is crap. Wow, good job, guys. Anyway, yeah, he did say that, I think he sent, where did this come from? St. Louis? Is that what he said? I'm terrible memory sometimes. Let me double check. No, I think it was around Kansas City, Missouri, I think is where this was coming from. And I said something when I spoke to the customer that I can't believe there's no half decent guitar repair guys out there. And he said there wasn't, and I think he's correct. So yeah, otherwise, I mean, the factory stuff looks pretty decent. Switch looks all right. I mean, these work. There's nothing wrong with them. All right, let's go find. I'm going to grab what is this? This is probably a 500K. Yeah, we'll get a 500K for that humbucker. All right, hold on. And bam, there it is. We're going to actually put a full-size potentiometer in there. I think we have plenty of room. Yeah, there's plenty of room. So I didn't power up my soldering iron yet. But yeah, let's get this. That's why I flipped over. Let's holding. There we go. Get this off of there. There we go. And yeah, I don't know even what kind of. That's like cheapest of the cheap right there. Dang. Like a 10 millimeter nut on it, but this is, wow, junk. Come out. There. Wow. And this isn't even an audio pot either. I mean, you can use linear for volume, but generally you don't. So they put in the wrong pot, and ooh, look at that solder mess. Jeez, oh, you guys can't really see. There we go. Terrible cameraman. Yeah, look at that solder mess. Oof. Anyway, junk. Oh, all right. Soldering iron is up to temperature. Let's replace this. Okay. get the grounds off there. Get rid of all this mess first. That. And let's see if I can try real hard. I can burn myself while I do this. It's a talent. Let's go. There we are. Okay. Geez, if we're gonna have all these grounds on there, you'd at least did they tie one to the body? It's kind of a neat little mod that Fender does. Maybe I'll do that. Because if you got shielding paint, you can take a little bit of noise out. I mean, kinda, if you tie the a ground to the shielding paint with a little anchor screw. Okay, just throw this thing right in the trash where it belongs. And I'm gonna swing out just a little bit, more for myself, so I don't have to worry about positioning the camera. And then I'll re-edit afterwards. You guys don't care. All right, that's fine, that's fine. That probably is gonna need to be reamed out, I imagine. That's probably too small. Let's get the actual quality pots in there. I think we're gonna need to nut it up. Where's the correct size? Let's go. That should be the right one. Really? No? Why? Son of a... Come on, get it, got it. Nailed it. Okay, that. And we have a, yeah, let's just double check. I don't think that's the correct size. It's close. Let's give it a little ramification. Here, I'm not even gonna use the drill because it's just barely, I think just that much will probably do it. Yep. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it can't fit here. Maybe I'd have to use a mini pot. No. No, we got room. There's room. There's room. Okay. That. And even if there wasn't room and you had to use a mini pot, you can get much higher quality mini pots than what that piece of crap it was that was in there. Oh, I'm gonna have to use 2 washers, maybe. Let's see if I can get the nut on there. Sometimes thick pickguards. No, it'll work. We got it. We got this. We got this. There we go. All right, that feels a whole heck of a lot better. Also. And what? How? Oh yeah, that's right. I thought, what's going on here? Why is this? Guess I should have looked and checked which one was which. I think green's probably ground. Yep. Okay. That jack, I bet, is if that pot was that crappy, that jack looks like it's probably pretty crappy. Nice long screws for those. That's a good idea. Good job, Vintage. What do we got? Oh yeah, that jack is made of pure Chinesium. We're gonna put a better jack on it, not jack off it. And look, also not tight. Come on, guys. Okay. What? This one's also a goofy size. Cool. Get rid of this. Okay, yeah, no, that's junk. And go get a jack. Ready? See, nothing. Right there. Ha! Magic. Okay, so put an actual Switchcraft jack in there. Jack in, not jack, you know, that. And another lock washer. Do I have to ream this? No, good. Okay. Put our reamer away. That and that. I mean, the jack that was in there was probably factory, but you know, any store, any guitar I take in, you always check the jack, tighten everything up when you're done. That's how it works, like that. Alrighty then. Do we want to reuse that wire? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just wire. We'll reuse that. And where's my wire strippers? Okay, junk. This does kind of just look like, almost like home wire, but again, it's fine. It's nothing. Well, they use solid. I kind of like stranded better. You know, I know it's probably not a difference. Probably doesn't make any difference. But we're gonna use some regular. Let's see, where do I have some? All right, we got some. I think this actually is Fender wiring. So, or from a Fender guitar. I think I pulled this out of something we swapped some electronics on. And here we go. That and that. Which way is this thing angling? So that'll be easier if I go like this. Which way are we facing? There we go. One from the high side. Much easier to push the wires down than to try to get them to go up. Okay. And we don't need to do that just yet. I probably should have stripped the other ends before I put them in there. Whatever. Come on. Get around. There we go. That. Yeah. Oh, it does have a screw to the side. Look at that. Neat. They did do it. Huh, cool. Let's get these. Oh, here, we're going to clean up these ends too. Get these all tied together. And snip these, all that nasty off there. It kind of almost looked like silver solder also, which don't use silver solder ever for guitars. It's terrible. It will fail. Don't use plumbing solder, silver solder, any of that crap. You want all the lead. It just works better. Okay, we'll twist those all up nice like. And how about we wire up that? Can we do it all right together? I think we can do it all together here. Make sure you guys are seeing with this awful camera guy. Yeah, I think we're good. That somewhere. That'll probably make sense. All right. I don't really want to. I'd love to trim up these grounds here, but I don't want to take all this apart and re-strip everything. I am going to try to reroute this so it's not all wound around itself. Okay, like that, like that. Oh man, that's definitely silver solder. Yuck. Okay, we can trim this. Actually, we can trim that a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, that's stranded. I'm wondering if they put that solid core wire in there. Again, not that it probably made any difference, but what do you guys think? Let me know. You guys think solid versus stranded wire makes a difference? What's happening here? There's more grounds. Yeah, more grounds. Those are fine. Okay, where is it? Need something to hold down with. That. That one right there. this one. Like that. Make it quick, you won't knock the other one off. There's that. And we'll go over here. Here we'll do this lefty style so you guys can see. Let's route that in a better spot first. Okay. Okay. That. All right. All our grounds hooked back up, I think so. Except for the pot ground itself. So let's do that. We're just gonna bend this over like that. Good enough. And this is our in and out. Okay. That down. There we go. Nope, missed. I missed it. Get on there. Cooperate, you. Ground. There we go. Alright, let's double check from the other angle. Make sure we get everything. I might give that first one another little zap there. That's better. Alright. Let's see. Everything else. Those are tight. That one's tight. Tight. That around like that. Okay. I think we're good. Let me just double check these. Those connections, the factory connections look fine. Okay, get that back in there. Oh, you wait, if that pot doesn't fit. Oh no, it's just a wire. Come on. There we go. There we are. Alright, we're good. And extra there. And let's put a pickguard screw in so nothing pops up and wires don't get pinched. And we'll just do that. And we need some more Bosch. That. We're good. And just one more, just over here. All right, nice. And now do this. And there's the ground. And we'll slide that underneath there so we don't dribble any solder. Come on, keep going. Right. All right. Cool. That should be good. This over like that so we don't bump the wires. I think we're good there. Put these extra long screws in here, which every company should use extra long screws on their jack plates. Okay. All right, now let's check. See how we did. All right, I think we're good there. Call it mission successful. Much better pot and jack, that's for sure. That's pretty embarrassing if you ask me. pretty much my only guitar teacher, he also taught me a lot of this stuff, had a great quote, and I've tried to stick to that. And it was, never leave poor examples of your work. That's it. I watched that dude take a guitar that he spent, I don't know, a year building, throw it right in the fire. Crunched it up, wasn't happy with it, didn't like it, threw it in the fire. Said it wasn't good. And don't leave bad examples of your work. Okay, everything walked down there. Yep, I think good. He did say that he wanted a mint green guard for this thing and that he couldn't find one. I don't think I have one, but I should check just in case, because you never know. We have a bunch of like used pick guards, and if I had like a semi decent shape one, it'd probably match the vibe of this thing pretty okayly. So I'm gonna go check on that. You guys just pause. Actually, you know what? Why don't you guys come with me and check out the front of the shop? We've changed things around a little bit. Here, let's go up there. We're out front, a little detour. Here's where your customer holding stuff is. Oh, look, there's Elvis. Here, let's turn on the lights. Gorilla Guitar wife has been in doing some decorating. You know, that type of stuff. Kind of cool, huh? Look at that. We got t-shirts now. We have some vintage and, you know, new stuff. But there's a couple of vintage tees in there. Let's see. There was a Megadeth. For those of you that like good music. ACDC, where is it? Somebody buy it? Maybe somebody bought it. There was an actual old Megadeth that I bought way back in the day that I'm now not fat enough to wear. But anyway, stuff like that. We got parts and pieces, some project guitars, more parts and pieces, more shirts. Look at this thing. Anybody a Sting fan out there? Look at this, huh? I found this at a thrift store, and I think they go for over $100 on. I think I saw some crazy person asking $190 for this. It's a tour shirt from the 90s, I think, 97, I believe. There's no date, but when I Googled it, that's what came up. But any Sting fans out there? We got some Ozzy stuff. Rest in peace, Ozzy. We miss you, but we got some stuff like this. You know, fun stuff like that. All right, anyway, back business. Let's check our bin of guards. I'm gonna need two hands for that because I'm not gonna. Here, you guys come over here. I'll set you on the counter next to Ozzy. All right, here we go. Let's see. You don't need to watch me paw through this. So now that you've come out here, actually, you know what? You guys can hang, right? I don't see any mint green anyway. This probably won't be a long. What's that? Nope. Pretty sure we didn't have one, especially a humbucker cut. Yeah, I don't see one. But, you know, I said I'd look. And I did. And we don't. Okay. Oh, you guys want to see something cool? Look at this. This is made of matchsticks. Somebody actually put everything on this is handmade. Even the frets aren't really frets. I think they're like nails that they hammered kinda into shape. But yeah, it's obviously never gonna play. But maybe somebody suggested it might be somebody's prison project. But I don't know. But just imagine the time that went into gluing 10,000 matchsticks on there. But all right. Back to business. We didn't have the pickguard, but we do have, what am I after? NYXL10s is what he wanted. So that's what we're going to put on it. It's a fine string. And oh yeah, if you guys want me to work on your stuff, like this customer right here wanted me to work on their stuff. So they sent it to me. And they sent it to me at The Music Techs in Manchester, New Hampshire, 603-625-6110. I'd love to work on your stuff, like this. All right, end of shameless self-promotion. So now that is now fully electrified again, We'll put the pick guard all the way down and check and see if we can get this neck forward any. I guess I'm not gonna. I don't think we're gonna do that. But I don't think it's gonna. No, that looks like it's gonna be right up against it. Yeah, I think that's just what we're gonna do. I guess we could. It would be possible, like, to cut this and slide it forward, but then that's a lot. You got to plug all these. I don't want to do that. I don't want to hack into it. We'll see how it comes out. Cross that bridge when we get to it, right? Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. Saved my boss brake. No. Probably needs to be cleaned. Fun fact, deoxit works great on, like, drill triggers and stuff like that. You can spray it on there and clean all this out. Ooh, look at all the fuzz in there. Look at that steel wool. Steel wool, oh no. Okay. Oh yeah, check it out. Like, you can see see the imprint at the end of the board there from where it was pinching on this pick guard. We're definitely going to shim out that neck a little bit. We don't want that. Maybe we'll use, do I have one? Hold on. No, I thought I had one of those fancy schmancy wood shims, but just a piece of sandpaper will work just fine. Always has, always will. These things also work great. Here, maybe we'll use one of these. These hang tags you guys get if you guys do this in a shop that has inventory. These little hang tags are great because you can peel that off. This one's actually all dried out, so not that one. Not that one. Let's get one that hasn't been all dried out. And then you go like this. And you can just snip off like that much of it. And then you have an instant shim that doesn't shift around if you have to take your neck off. That. And just stick that right about there. Ooh, that's starting to pull out a little chunk of wood there. Here, let's stabilize that with some super glue here. Stick that right there. But yeah, let's stabilize that just to keep it nice and non-broken. That. A little bit of that there, like that. That'll do. There we go. That's better. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna trim my shim and all those, you know, the weenie. It'll make your neck warp. No, it won't. No, it won't. It will not. This will not make this bow out. That's Fender causes that from their what causes the curl at the end of the board that you often see on the Strats and bases and stuff is because the rosewood shrinks and it pulls all this up. Okay. Here, you guys aren't going to see much. Oh, that's why you're still zoomed in. There we are. There we go. Set you back like that. And okay. Come on. Why? These holes are just tight enough, giggity, to not want to push back. There we go. Okay. We'll check that and see if we got enough gap. Oh, why am I putting this back now? We gotta fret level this thing. I'm getting ahead of myself. Is that? Yeah, I don't know if I still might want to put another. Wow. I think I'm gonna want to put another shim under there, maybe. Yeah, it's okay. We're all right. That's just about perfect. But yeah, no, this can't. But let's pop this back out because we got to do some neck work on this here guitar. Now that we've done the other work. Put this back. Hopefully it's going to fit. Line up the tins. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Okay. Put this back in the case. And what are we gonna do here? So let's find where all the, I can see that one. That's definitely a lift and fret. Yeah, I can see more. And it's not the worst. It's not the worst neck. We're also going to roll the edges a little bit. This is definitely feels like a. It's often what you pick when you pick up a less expensive guitar. It's like it feels different just because they have very sharp edges. This is really sharp edged. So first, we're going to glue down all the frets that are sticking up. Then we're going to glue down all the fret ends because I'm sure they all have not been glued and all. It's just better. Here's a perfect example. Why you want to do that? Sorry, I had to move the neck, so I'll show you this here. Check this out. Look at this. Why you should always glue down all your frets. Listen. Oh, there it is. Hear it? The ones that aren't glued in or that are bouncy, they like thud. So that right there will take away from your strings vibration and just basically sucks any sustain, just kills your sustain. Anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna first glue down after we find all the really bad ones. We're gonna glue them down, hold them down with a screwdriver, and then we're going to glue down all of them. But I don't want to glue all of them and not have a way to press them down and basically end up having to glue them in the up position. That's not the way to do it. What do I want? This, and we're gonna need some more super gluage, some ultra thin. This one's just about empty. Come on now, get out of there. This was just about it. Yep, that one's dead. But we got enough. Cool. Don't worry, I got a new bottle. So let's see that one. Obviously, let's see how bad it clicks. You guys zoom in. There you go. This one. Oh yeah. And if you press down, it stops clicking, so it means the fret is bouncing. We don't want that. So, get all my stuff ready. Basically what you do is this. Look at that, pull that glue under there. That means that thing had tons of room. Press it down with a screwdriver, and then hit it with some accelerator. Hold it for a bit. Let's see if we got it. If it's at least better. That's better. Still clicky. That's all right. It definitely does. It's not like jumping up above the board before you sight the board and you just see it popped right up. And I think there might be one that's more like middle there. Maybe. Yeah, that's pretty clicky. Doesn't look like the end's up on that one though. I can't catch my fingernail under it. Maybe that was the only one that was really up. Yeah. All right, let's just glue all the ends. That'll be fine. We're gonna glue all the ends and then we're gonna fret level and do all those things, but that's gonna be long and boring. So what I'm gonna do is in a few moments. We're going to go to time lapse where I'm going to do all that, glue all the ends in, fret level, polish them out, go to the buffer, and then we'll put it back together. By then there'll probably be people here. So again, I appreciate everyone watching and subscribing, doing all the things. And I want to thank this customer for sending in his vintage guitar to have me work on it. Oh wait, he was right. Look at that. He said to look, and I looked quick before. And yeah, these two. We gotta, which one? This one. This one's too tall. We gotta move this one to here, and this one to here. So we'll do that. But again, I thank this customer for sending in here. We'll just make up a random name for this customer. Let's just call him Dave. So thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. And we'll be in touch and get this thing all done up. And yeah, anyway, we'll see you guys at the tone test and on to time lapse. See ya. All right, so I thought I'd stop and add a few comments here. So the board is about a 9.5 inch radius. Here, where's the thing? Yeah, look at that. That's about it. See, almost you can pretty much plow the whole board. Okay, look at that. Dust, 10-ish, 9.5. Yeah. But the frets are more like a 12, and they are fairly uneven. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go basically a 12, and then I'm going to flatten them out a little more up here. But I hit them with the block first, and then I knock down all the really wide spots when you can see where it's really, really high. I'm basically going to fret level it twice, essentially. So I'm going to crown them kind of quickly. And then we're going to hit them with a block again, re-level them just to make sure, because sometimes if you had a really, really nasty fret, it'll still be unlevel, even if it will, just trust me, it will. And we're also going to lean into this up here a little bit just because it might have a little bit of that happening. So I'm going to knock the ends down here more. And also, like I've said many times, you need to do basically more sanding up here than down here because there's more material up here. A lot of people don't understand that. So anyway, back to time lapse. Thanks for watching. All right, some time has passed, a couple of days actually. So we're back at it Monday morning, and I thought I'd give you guys an update. I don't know how much I said in the last video part. I'm too lazy to go back and check. But what we've done is we have glued down every fret end. We're getting ready to put that nut, or shape this down. We're going to get nutty up in here. But we've polished these frets within an inch of their lives, glued them all down. We've rounded the edges. This thing now feels more like a vintage guitar, not like a real sharp-edged, you know. Often when people describe like a cheap guitar, they're talking about their cheap feeling. They're talking about the edges of the fingerboards, and they feel all sharp and just uncomfortable. These are now all nice and rounded. Look at those nice shiny frets. So shiny. All right, and let's see what, oh yeah, we replaced the volume pot because the one some other store did, or shop or whatever, was made of the Chinesium Ultra Crapium variety, and it was already loose and failing, basically brand new. So we replaced that. We put a better jack in here because you should always have a good quality. That's the first thing that's going to fail, is going to be that, and apparently that. So that's what we've done. Now, next and last thing I think we need to do on this here guitar, did we have to move, I think we might have to move one of these. I told him that one of these, I think this one is too, yeah, this one's a little too short. We got to swap one of these with one of these. I think this one maybe, see, just right there. Swap these two, because it's kind of supposed to be staggered this way. Anyway, no big deal. We'll do that after we get this. Actually, we should do that right now, so I don't forget, because I will. So let's do that. We will swap the tuners that are not in the right order. Had some strong coffee this morning. Some kind of Colombian something or other, I don't know, but it was good, but strong. All right, so what do we need to swap here? Which one? This one's definitely too short. Let's see. Actually, I think these... Yeah, this one's got to go here, so let's swap these two. Let's just take out all the middle ones. How about that? We don't have to keep flipping it over. Uh-oh, wait. Trigger warning. Let's get you guys up a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Anybody have any experience with the vintage brand? I've had them through a couple of times. And again, a store up in my area used to sell them. Let's see how are we looking there? Let's see if I can drop these on the floor. All right, so no, we still need this one. Needs to, I think this is the A. Get these all confused. That, and I think maybe like that, and like that. I don't know. Now I've forgotten which ones I've moved. Let's see here. That looks much more better. Okay, there we go. Now it goes from tallest to shortest that way. And put our screws back in. Dial down the torque. See, look at that. Thing's got a clutch that's soft enough to put in tuning machine screws. And people still, almost every video, somebody, I never played a guitar. It's cool if you don't know how to use power tools. There we go. All right. Now that is taken care of, let's see. Next step is we're going to, still felt like there's a little bit of a, like not quite, whoever cut this, no, I guess it's all right. Last time I thought I might have felt a little bit of a rock. I think yeah, that's what I did. I just pushed it off the edge. Don't do that. Maybe a little bit. There might be something in the middle. I'm going to run the scraper through there and just see if we can make that a little bit. Find this probably some. Oh, wait, I think I found it. Yep, there's some glue. There it is. Get out of there. Try to make it as flat as possible. How does that feel? I think we're good. Check my bottom here. It's not quite, it's a little angled to the side, so let's see here. A little bit, so we're gonna gently tilt it back just a little, try to flatten it out. How's that? That looks pretty good. All right. There we go. Yep, I think we're good. Now let's shape that down a little bit better on the belt sander here. It's a little mini belt sander. This thing was I think we got this, one of the techs here, Ben, got a bunch of these on Temu, and I think at that point they were like $35. And this thing's, you know what? Say what you want, this thing's awesome. All right. Yeah, these things are awesome. Check out, you can go this forwards, backwards. So another, you can put a buffer or a grinder on this side. It's not the stablest for a grinder. A buffer is all right, but just to have a little belt sander right at your bench, doing stuff like this, nuts and saddles, fantastic. I think they might have gone up like 55, 60 bucks now, but still well worth it. Anyway, non-sponsored or anything, that's a great little sander for not a lot of money. I am minorly concerned that the belts might not be available. It came with like 20 of them, so we're good for a while. Anyway, back to this. So we have shaped this thing down to just about where we want it. It's still a hair wide and tall, but it fits all nicely. Look at that, here, see? All nice and snug right in the slot. That's how you want it. There. So now we're gonna do some final shaping on the block here. Maybe I'm gonna take a radius block and just kind of shrew that up a little bit. And there's that. Use a jeweler's vise. I'm going to use the other nut because I think it was also pre-cut, and I assume the spacing was good. So where's my old nut? All right, I gotta find where I put it. Hold on, pause. All right, found it. So this is what they had in there, and you know, I mean, Graphtec makes nice stuff, but I don't like how they do just this universal fit. If it has a flat bottom, you don't grind off the little thing there. I mean, you're only making contact with the two very outside edges, and then that I don't like that. I don't like. So, and also here, check this out. Whoever put this in, I mean, that is not great at all. But the spacing looks good, and it was pre-cut, factory cut, so I'm going to copy that just so I don't have to waste a bunch of time with the nut spacing ruler. This will be a lot faster and easier. So we're going to go over here and get you guys to stand. There we go. And put a vise in a vise. This is one of my favorite tools, featured often here. It's that an old vintage jeweler's vise. Oh, I hear the sirens. There they go. I swear we have sirens going by up front. Oh, here comes more. Like all day. All day. Granted, it's like one of the main roads in town, but still, just all day long. Okay, so we're gonna do it like that. Get these pretty much lined up, edge, like that. I like it. Tighten. So, nut files. I mean, yeah, he wanted 10s, so we're gonna do that. That. All right, this is the boring part. So we're going to time lapse this. There's not really much left to do after this. We're going to time lapse this out, cut these slots, get that nut in the guitar, string it up, and do a tone test. And again, thank everyone for watching, subscribing. And I know I probably mentioned it already in the video, but if you want me to work on your cool thing, give us a call down here at, wait, there it is, in the Music Techs in Manchester, New Hampshire, 603-625-6110. All right, that's enough of that. And yeah, on to time lapse tone test, and then, I don't know, see ya. Thanks for watching. Wow, my phone just really messed me all up here. I thought I recorded a whole section here. Apparently I did not. Telling you guys all about these cool locking tuners. Taking a video, picking on the weenies with the drill, you know, all that. You missed it all because that thing's not recording. Ooh, anyway. So these are really cool locking tuners that work by basically, here, I'll show you one just so we can watch this. We'll take this down. All right, see that? Okay. So this is how this works. You feed a string through like that, ready? And then you don't have to tighten this like a PRS style or anything. You watch this. You just tune it up. Trigger warning. See, it's not moving. It's not moving. Nothing's moving. You think it's broken. It moves a little bit. You still think it's broken, but it's not. And then look at that. Trick for these is to, once it's up, just keep stretching them until it stops moving. What it is a worm gear inside, and as you go to tune up, it tightens it, a shaft inside that hits the top of this, pinches the string, and then once it stops there, then it turns the rest of the tuner, tunes it up. These are probably my favorite locking tuner because they look, you know, pretty much exactly the same as a vintage style. They don't go down in, but otherwise you would never notice, and they work great actually. And also we were talking about how let's see, shape the nut, get it positioned side to side. It's not glued in yet, and now I'm going to cut the strings down to the proper height, and then we're going to pop this back out, polish it all up. And I don't glue it in yet because I want to do all this cutting and polishing and final adjustments before I glue it in. That way you don't mess it up if it's all shiny. All right, so that was the stuff that you missed. On my phone didn't work because it wanted to sabotage me today. Oh, what else we got going? Oh, maybe, there we go. Yeah, the neck wasn't quite, all right, that's all right. Didn't make much difference. Need to be shucked sideways a little bit. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. This is really going to go on to time-lapse mode now. I'm going to go full time-lapse, never go full time-lapse. And we will see you guys at the tone test for real this time. Thanks for watching. See ya! All right, more time has passed. I got distracted and we had some things to take care of in the shop, but we are done. It is time for the tone test, but I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a flyover walk around of this here vintage Icon series guitar, and it came out nice. These saddles, I still wish they were back a little bit. I mean, it's not the worst I've ever seen, but I wish those holes lined up a little better, but I don't think it'd be worth going to major surgery just to make that more of a aesthetic, and sometimes you get a push. I think that these back a little bit when you load the strings. It is what it is. Frets came out super shiny. Look at that. Look at how shiny. We rounded the edges of the fingerboards. Now it feels way more like a vintage guitar. And let's crap out of the way here. Oh no, steel wool. Nut is all in there. Look at how pretty. Nice and shiny. Got the bone nut on there. Looking good. All tuned up, ready to go. Yeah. This thing doesn't... I played it a little bit. It really sounds pretty good. These pickups are fine. This humbucker sounds like a humbucker. The single coils aren't too noisy. It's really all you'd ever need. It could really, if somebody were to, like, if this were mine, I would definitely take some actual sandpaper and make these into, not so they were shiny like that. But other than that, this thing's actually a real decent guitar. Neck is nice and straight. Better than your average Fender. So yeah, let's get you guys in the holder and we'll do a little tone test. Again, thanks for watching, subscribing, doing all the things, and see ya.